Stampers, it's Judy Klock here at Stampin' with Crafty Klock, coming to you from my studio for another Facebook Live. And today I'm going to focus on the Sparkle of the Season bundle. This bundle is in our July to December mini catalog. I don't remember what page it's on, but I like it because you can really get 3 or 4, definitely 3 holidays and a couple of seasons, because you can get snowflakes, you have Merry Christmas, you have Grateful for Thanksgiving, you've got the bats for Halloween. But look at all these gorgeous dies. There are, let me just double check, there are 15 dies. So you've got like the wreath dies, you know, like the vine wreath that you see on people's doors, with a couple of different things. You've got a cat. You've got some leaves. You've got holly leaves and holly berries. You've got a pumpkin and a bat and more leaves and pine cones and a broom. So you got a leaf with stars. You've got some with the pine branches and the holly. So you've really got a great base to work with here. And I can imagine you could use this for January with the snowflakes and a whole bunch of other ideas. Valentine's Day, just switch out, you know, put the leaves in there and cut out some paper hearts and make yourself a Valentine's Day one. Same thing, St. Patrick's Day, put a couple of shamrocks on there. Easter, decorate it with bunnies and Easter eggs. So I think these dies will really almost take you through the entire year. So as always, we're going to do 2 cards. We're going to do a simple stamping card with just nothing more than stamps, ink, and paper. But we're going to do a little masking technique, which might be a little advanced for some beginners, but it's really just using Post-it notes, which most people have lying around the house. And you can either use our blending brushes or, like, if you have like a craft sponge, to kind of get this look. And the other one, we're going to step it up and we're going to do a whole bunch of die cuts with that. We're going to add some Wink of Stella, bows, you know, the dimensionals. We're just really going to go to town on this. So I did it with the basic white first, and I thought it was a bit stark. So for the card that we're going to work on together, I'm actually going to use Very Vanilla. I think it might just soften it up just a tad. So let's go ahead and get started. So I'm going to start with, we have a piece of Very Vanilla that is 3.5 by 4.5. And I'm going to take this and I want to mask it. So I used these earlier. So these are just some Post-it notes. I kind of ripped the sticky end just to kind of get it with, you know, to kind of get that rugged edge, that rough edge looking. And then I'm just going to go ahead and just put these on my card. And you can go up however much you want. That might be a little too far down. Let me make a little bit more. And so I have 4 of these. Now, if you have the ones that are fully adhesive, those would actually be really much better, but I don't have the fully adhesive one, so I had to just kind of be real careful and just kind of rip it a little bit near the bottom, or near where the sticky stuff is, so that would stay there. So now I'm going to work with 2 colors. I'm going to work with crushed curry and pumpkin pie. So I'm going to lay down some crushed curry first, and I'm just going to open up my stamp pad and just kind of dab my blending brush. And I'm going to start off the card, and I'm just going to kind of come in and just kind of blend in some of that yellow. Okay, again, using a circular motion, starting off the card. Okay, then I want to come in with my pumpkin pie. It is getting to be pumpkin pie season. Who's happy that fall is here? Hey, Patricia. Hey, Amy. Who is happy that fall is here? I am happy that fall is here. Now, you might have seen Sarah Douglas do this yesterday. She was casing the catalog, and that's sort of where I got the idea for this, to do this. Ooh, that's a little too dark. Oh, well, I'll make it work. See, that's what happens when you don't start off. And you can go as dark or as light as you want. I'm going to add some more of this yellow in there to kind of maybe soften that up just a bit. Okay. I think I'm going to close up these ink pads first, because you know that I make a mess. So now we're ready to take off our masks. And you see you got that nice kind of raggedy edge along. And you could either do it, you know, whichever way you want. It doesn't really matter. I'm just going to use this as my top. And then I'm going to come in here and I'm going to stamp. I'm going to stamp on our wreath in, oh my goodness, look at all this junk on my pad. I'm going to stamp on that, just kind of like the vine, the basic vines. I'm going to stamp that in Bumblebee, if I could find it. I'm sorry, not Bumblebee. Cinnamon cider. I don't even know what I'm talking about today. Okay, so I'm going to stamp this in cinnamon cider. Just right there. Okay. And then I'm going to stamp, I've got this little 3 leaves, like a tri-leaf stamp, and I'm going to stamp that on in a random pattern, and I'm going to stamp it on in a variety of colors. I'm going to use pumpkin pie, which we've already used. I'm going to use some cherry cobbler, and maybe we'll even try a little Cajun craze. Okay, so I'm going to kind of stamp the pumpkin pie up here and down here where we didn't have our blending. So I just have to remember to clean off my little leaf after every time we do it. So this is going to go pretty quick. It's not going to take a lot of time and effort. I think the most work is just making sure you clean off your stamp pad in between all of the stamps. And maybe one more up there. Okay. Let's come back in with some Bumblebee. Oh my goodness, I can't get that one to close. We'll just move that one far, far away. Okay. Let's see. So the Bumblebee doesn't show up that well, but that's okay. It's still there. We can tell. And then I'm going to come back with our Happy Halloween, and I'm going to stamp that in Cajun Craze, which is what we're using for our card base. So we've got Happy Halloween, and I believe I stamped it in Gorgeous Grape before, so let me just clean it off. We've got a Happy Halloween. Okay, and now we're ready to assemble our card. All right, and I've got ink on my fingers, so bear with me for 1 second. Gotta make sure I don't get ink on my stamped elements, because that would make me sad. All right, let's go ahead and put this together. I'm going to layer this up over. I have a piece of crushed curry that is 4 by 5 1/4. So this one's going to be a little bit smaller than my normal layer, but I kind of liked the way that looked. If you are watching live, make sure to leave a comment, because I always raffle off the cards at the end. Usually on Monday, I give people the weekend to catch up. And, or, you know, just hit a like or a heart or whatever you want to do. And if you're watching in replay, go ahead and put down #replay and let me know where you're watching from. Okay, so there we have the front of our card. Now we've got this. We can go ahead and we can put some leaves along the bottom if you want. You can do whatever you want. I'm going to leave this one blank, because I think my daughter will use this one, and I don't know what she'd want inside. So you can never go wrong with a blank inside. And there is our simple stamping card. So a little bit, we did use a masking technique, so it's maybe a little bit above like pure simple stamping, but it is nothing more than stamps, ink, and paper. Even the Post-it notes are just paper. But I think that makes a very pretty, kind of gives it like a watercolor background look, I think. So what do you think? Does it look better with the Very Vanilla or the Basic White? I think I'm kind of liking the Very Vanilla a little bit better. I just think it softens it up. Oh, see, this one I did add the bats to it. You can do whatever you want. All right, let's go on to our second card. So this one uses a lot of the die cuts. We've cut out the wreath, we've cut out the bat and the cat and the broom and the pumpkin. We've die cut our little label down there. And then I went ahead and put some bats in here. So the base is Gorgeous Grape. Then we've got a layer of basic black. And then we've got, this is the cute Halloween paper. So this is 5 1/4 by 4. And this is 3 3/4 by 5. So we're just going to go ahead and layer that up. But before we do that, let's go ahead and let's get our inside ready. So I'm going to stamp our 3 little bats, our little tri-bats, into this card. Let me get that stamp out. Okay. I should have had another little block. I have to find my other A block. I don't know where it went to. It's somewhere in my workshop. I need to clean my workshop. It's a bit of a disaster. I'm not going to lie. Okay, I'm going to pull back my Stampin' pad, my Stampin' Pierce mat, and I'm just going to kind of punch a row of these, stamp a row of these across the top. Okay, so keeping it simple, not going to do too much. Now we have, if you wanted to pair it with another stamp set to get more sentiments, you could pair it with Little Delights, because then you've got Trick or Treat, Ghoulish Delights. Again, you've got some more bats, so you could pair this one with the Sparkle of the Season to kind of extend your sentiments. So I like how we can do that with a lot of our stamp sets. They just kind of work in tandem with each other. All right. Excuse me. All right, let's go ahead. I'm going to layer up my layers. I'm going to put my Designer Series paper on top of my basic black. And I love the simplicity of black and white Designer Series paper because you can make it go with absolutely anything. It's kind of like the little black dress of Designer Series paper. I love it. Oh boy. I hate when my... Okay, come on, let's not be difficult now. There we go. Sometimes it is difficult, and I don't know why. Well, when all else fails, we're just going to go to our old one for now. I don't know why sometimes the Stampin' Seal Plus does that. All right. Now after I made my sample, I just kind of put this on the back, right on the Designer Series paper, and I thought it looked a little plain. So I'm going to back it with a circle of Gorgeous Grape. I think that might make that wreath pop just a bit more. But I went ahead and I die cut this out already, but I put our adhesive sheets on the back because whenever you've got this really intricate die cutting, these adhesive sheets are a godsend because they make it so easy to adhere your die cut to your project. And then I want to say, don't discard the middle because we have this great big middle piece that came out of here, but it's got the adhesive back on here. And there's lots of little intricate like leaves and stuff that you could cut out from here. You've got these leaves you could cut out. You've got pine cones. So hold on to this because you can use this piece to get some other die cuts and the adhesive's already on the back of it. So that's my pro tip for tonight. And let me get that ink off my finger. Okay, there we go. All right, so I'm going to take this and I'm going to peel off the backing. And let's see, here's my U-pick tool. Make sure I can kind of get it started with my U-pick tool. There we go. All right. Once you get it started, it comes off fairly easily. You just got to be there. This is a pretty delicate die cut, so just, as you're pulling it off, be gentle. Don't yank it. You don't want to rip it. But it'll come off pretty easily. See, it just takes a little bit of patience. That's all. It's coming off. There we go. So, I wouldn't recommend that if you're in a hurry to get something done because this does require just a teeny tiny bit of patience. So I'm just going to go ahead and lay this down on this circle. I want to make sure I get almost all. Some of the leaves are going to stick off, and that's okay. Okay. All right, that doesn't look too bad. I just think it's going to make it look a little bit nicer. So now I'm going to put that on there with dimensionals, but I'm going to go ahead and I've already die cut all of my other pieces, which now have gotten lost. There's my bat. There they are. Okay, they're all there. So I've got a pumpkin. Okay, let's see. Of course, because you're doing this live, it never works right. All right, let's go ahead and put our pumpkin up here. And I don't really have a rhyme or reason. I just kind of put them where I kind of thought I wanted them. Now, if you have the black organdy ribbon, that would be perfect. I don't have any more left. So I am just going to use my white organdy ribbon when I put the bow on here. And this is, it's fine. It's just a little bit hard to get it started on these really tiny ones. These are like really tiny die cuts. But you can see that the adhesive backing is saving me a lot of anguish. Okay, I don't want to do that there because I definitely want to put it on dimensional. So let's put this right here for now. And we'll just put our bat on there too. So you could put on, like, if you wanted to do like another bat or another pumpkin or another kitty cat, whatever you wanted to do, you could cut as many as you want. I was just kind of running out of time, so I just did one of each. But, you know, do what, you know, it's your project. Do what you want on it. Cut as many items as you want. All right, I'm going to go ahead and put this up there with some dimensionals. Love dimensionals. The only thing I don't like about the adhesive sheets is then you got all this little trash, just like dimensional covers. But I guess that's a small price to pay for being able to get all your little fine items on there. So I'm going to put that there. Now I'm going to come back in with a little wink of Stella. And I'm just going to kind of go over this. Oh, that poor bat. He looks like he's upside down. I might have to fix him. Let's see if we can fix him. He's kind of flying sideways. There's our little kitty cat. And we got our witch's broom. So, you know, the old saying, I can drive a stick, on Halloween. Haha. All right, let's fix him. There we go. He looks a little bit better flying that way. Kind of flying right side up. Okay. Now I'm going to take my ribbon. Oh, you know what? Actually, I forgot. I have the new black and white ribbon. Let's use this. I totally forgot I had this one. So this will actually fit the theme better. So I'm just going to tie a pretty bow. Hey, Denise, how are you? At least I'm going to try to tie a pretty bow. And then we're going to trim this up. Okay, trim it up. Trim it up. Okay. We're going to come right in there. I'm going to get a little glue dot and put that right on with a glue dot. And I thought I had taken my glue dots out, but apparently I did not. It's okay. I always have plenty of supplies, usually within easy reach. Okay, whoops. Come on. That little glue dot doesn't want to come off. Okay, so we're going to put our little ribbon up there, and you can kind of just fuss with it a little bit more until you get it where you want it. I'm going to just trim these up again. They didn't look so pretty. I want them to look pretty. Okay, and then we're going to come with our little die cut label, and we're going to stamp Happy Halloween in our gorgeous grape. So let me just clean off my stamp real quick. I had just used it for the Cajun Craze. And there we go. All right, now this one I'm going to put on with mini glue dots because it's pretty skinny. If I can find my mini glue dots, which I literally just had, but now, of course, here they are. All right. Not my mini glue dots, my mini dimensionals. So, okay, I got an extra one there. We'll just put that back on the paper. Okay. Trying to get all this distraction out of the way. Okay. And there we have our more intricate cards. So these are the two that we've done tonight. So we did simple stamping with just a little bit of a masking technique. So hopefully that won't, you know, be too hard for our beginning stampers. And then we've really stepped it up with our die cuts, and we've gone all out with, you know, Wink of Stella, ribbons, and all that good stuff. So that's it for tonight. I hope that you enjoyed this. I will see you next week here at 7:30 at Stampin' with Crafty Klock. Have a great night, everybody. Bye.